About to do a live with Caden. My buddy Caden going to talk about his entrepreneurial endeavors and everything he's working on. Just waiting for him to join the live feed.
Yo,
There he is.
what's going on?
What's up, man? How's it going? Long time no
Good.
see.
Yeah, it's been a while. Just walking around right now. I'm down in Florida.
Everyone's in Florida right now. I'm jealous. I'm here in Virginia where it's snowing right now.
Yeah, I got out early. I got out at a good time because we were planning on coming down here beginning of January, but we had to put it back a couple weeks. Still got down in time though because the blizzard came through like a week after.
It came through to PA.
Yeah, it's been snowing ever since we left, like last week.
Jeez.
And it's
Yeah,
pretty cool though.
You got out at a good time.
Yeah, we went to Virginia. We stayed in Petersburg area, but it was kind of like so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You went through Virginia, but didn't bother to come say hi and come come through to Northern
I was like
Virginia.
out of the way. That's why it was like 2 hours, and I barely made it from what I did drive.
No worries.
So
All right, but
you've been up to
not much. Just trying to work.
in the real estate.
Yeah, trying to do the real estate as always. Working on. I'll tell you a little bit more about it afterwards. But working on a kind of a children's book with a buddy of mine.
Oh, all right, that's different.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about that afterwards. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting project.
Yeah,
But
don't spoil.
wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit about money, mindset behind money, kind of what you're up to.
All right. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, we're just kind of cruising right now. We're just moving along. I mean, when it came down to like, just starting business up and like getting into that like full time, I mean, all this noise around me, it's ridiculous now. Like it's normally the quiet area, but anyway. Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, just rolling with the punches, really. I mean, it comes easier as you go. They say the more money you make, the more money you can make with money, so I'm by that mentality. I don't know, just like a lot of people above me that I listen to, watch a lot of videos like Gary V, Grant Cardone. Who's the other guy?
Like Ty Lopez, those guys.
No, I heard about him. I didn't really watch him. Oh, Brad,
Brad Lee.
Brad Lee. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I like how he just puts it to you, though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people shy away from these guys because, like, they tell you the truth. It's like stuff that you need to hear, but don't necessarily hear because of the place you're at in your life. But, I mean, if it wasn't for guys and those type of videos, man, I wouldn't even be doing it. I'm in Florida for 2 months. I live in Pennsylvania. I mean, everybody I met down here in the last week and a half has been like, oh, you guys down here working? Oh, what are you guys doing here so long? I'm like, because we're just doing it, I don't want to be in the snow. So it's like a luxury in its own to make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good place to be, too.
Yeah. And I'm pretty shocked because, just 3 years ago, like I'd be lucky if I had $100 to my after 1 week,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really I'm taking it in. Like, we're not out partying every night. We're not out getting super drunk every night. We're just taking it in. I mean, me especially, like, I'm just appreciating that, like, back where I'm from, it's like 7 inches of snow and 12 degrees.
Yeah. And you're not there.
Yeah, I'm having breakfast 9 a.m. in the morning, 62-degree weather out back, like with no shirt on, and I'm like just loving it,
Yeah.
But and the drive down here, it really got me out of my comfort zone, driving through like 6 or 7 states.
Why's that?
Well, because I've never done it before, so that was like a test in its own. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make this trip just to so I can, drive like 18 hours somewhere else because I've never done it before.
Okay.
And, that gave me anxiety in itself.
Did you guys just do Like, did you guys stop at hotels a lot along the way, or motels, or did you kind of just try to straight shoot it?
We did 6 hours from Allentown, Pennsylvania. We did about 6 hours the first night. We stopped in Petersburg, Virginia.
Mhm.
Big battleground state, actually probably one of the most important states in the Civil War, in the area specifically, Petersburg. We were checking that area. I thought it was a cool place, but like I said, it's very like broken down town. Like everybody was just like, I don't know. It was a drug town. It felt like it was just like really bad. But anyway, 6.5 hours later, we drove to Savannah, Georgia, and that was a fun night. That was cool. We're gonna actually stop back there on the way home. So, if you've never been to downtown Savannah, Georgia, definitely recommend it.
We'll have to check it out at some point.
Yeah.
I do want to ask. I know you're a bit short on time, but I guess to kind of start off this discussion interview,
Okay.
I guess whatever you're willing to share, could you share with some of the people joining the live right now, and some of the people that'll see it later on? I guess some of the sources of income you have, and any tips or tricks you want to share about how you've created those.
Honestly, I don't care what anybody tells you about like being a business owner, entrepreneur, like having multiple income streams. But like, I think the trick is just having a set of balls. I mean, I'm a big gambler when it comes to cards and casino. And you know that I'm always at the casino. But like, I kind of feel like that's like a strong point for me. Like I've always been in the mindset of putting my money on the table.
Yeah.
And I kind of adapted that into like just real everyday life. And I'm like, hey, if I could blow $1,000 a Friday night at the casino, or I could blow $2,000 on a Friday night at the casino, like why can't I invest that into my future? Like people just have these like bad habits, like lottery ticket, online gambling, casino gambling, sports on their Xbox or whatever. Like, I mean, you got to put your money like where it's going to grow, into assets. So, like I said, the main thing for me is having a pair of balls, because anybody can do it. You know, I know guys that have $100,000 in the bank and they won't put it into nothing. They just feel comfortable with it in there, and it's not going to do nothing.
Yeah. It's funny. I did an interview for the show Meeting Virginia. I had a buddy of mine on, and he was talking about squirrels versus rabbits. And he came up with this, but he was saying how some people are squirrels, and the squirrels kind of harvest, their food, and they're too scared to like let it go. So they kind of keep it in the tree, whatever. And then the rabbits they have more of an abundance mindset. So they see grass everywhere. Food's effectively infinite. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel like you're more like the rabbit. And I feel like to kind of grow a business or something like that, you kind of have to be a rabbit and just see opportunities and money as abundant.
Yeah. America's paved in gold. I mean, the roads are paved in gold in America. You just kind of have to get out there and get it. There's trillions of dollars in our system. And really it comes down to like, how do I get my hands on some of that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's circulating, it's out there. I mean, people are spending their 5 days a week, 6 days a week, morning till night, struggling to just put food on the table, and I've lived that life, and at a very age, and I learned it at a very age, and there's people that go through 20, 30 life still living that same way. And I grew out of that. Like that mindset I grew out of really has just helped me be resourceful. And that's like a huge part of being an entrepreneur too, is being resourceful. Like, because I stumbled upon a traditional business, which is landscaping. I mean, there's a dime a dozen landscapers, and they've been doing this 20 years, and they ain't even in the spot I'm at right now. And I don't say that to badmouth anybody or put anybody down. I'm just saying, like, there's people who do what I do traditionally that aren't even in the same spot 20 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
Because they haven't thought about anything but building up that business, putting themselves in more debt to buy new trucks and buy new equipment, and just keep throwing their, 6-figure incomes back in the business. Me, I'm trying to grow out of the business. To
Yeah.
me, it's just a catalyst to my growth and my entrepreneurship. I'm not just a landscaper. Like,
Yeah.
everybody looks at me as a landscaper, but that's just basically like my like I said, traditional, creative, everyday 9 to 5 that I'm building out of by investing money elsewhere. Crypto, I got a bunch of crypto. I probably put a fourth of my income this year into crypto.
Wow.
I invested a couple grand into a couple trading bots. I'm actually in foreign exchange trading.
Okay.
I get too emotional. Like I said, I'm a gambler. So like for me, it was more gambling than it was trading to make a living.
Oh, the sound went out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I had to close my battery thing.
Oh.
The sound, the robot, I spent $150 on 2 trading robots, and I think in the first month it already generated me like $100, like the first 3 weeks.
Could you tell me more about that robot? Because I feel like I've seen you on Facebook bring it up, but I know nothing about like crypto. I know like very little about Forex, and I know nothing about this like trading robot. I feel like I get the concept, but I don't know exactly.
Well, basically, it's a 24/7 automated system that basically runs your money through trades. So, like when you purchase this robot, I had to like put in my stop loss, how much I'm willing to invest, how much I'm willing to lose in 24 hours, how much I'm willing to invest within 24 hours. I have to choose all that, and then it basically on my algorithm I gave it, or the algorithms it runs off of, it actually puts me into trades throughout the day. The only thing I get out of it is an email and when I can disperse that profit back into my checking account.
Okay. Huh.
It's in a compounding effect too. Like the more I have in there, the more obviously it'll compound month by month by month. First year, I should think each robot, and I have 2 of them, should generate me between 5 and 10 grand each, and that's in the first year. I mean, that's pretty good for the first year of it. So,
is there a limit to I guess how many robots you can buy or how quickly?
no, I think once I make a couple grand doing this, I'm gonna buy a 4th one, and I'm gonna have like 15, 20 bots going. And all they're doing is basically not so much hedging each other, because like they're basically 70 to 90% on their trade calls.
Okay.
But they're really losing money. It's how much am I going to make today, kind of thing. So, if I have 15 bots, man, I could probably make at the first 10 grand, 15 bots, looking at 150 grand. But it costs more to have more. So obviously, I'm going to make some money doing this until I can afford monthly to have a 3rd, 4th bot. So it's just all, it's just climbing the ladder.
Yeah. It's funny that you
not the corporate ladder, the good ladder.
The good ladder, yeah.
The corporate.
The ladder to freedom and happiness, not slavery. We'll call it that.
The ladder to time.
Yeah.
But
It's I was talking to a buddy about this. It's funny you mentioned you don't really see yourself as a landscaper. You see, based on what you're saying, you see it more as a vehicle to a new frontier,
yeah,
so to speak. I was talking to a buddy, and I was like, a lot of people, I feel like they do the small business thing. They get stuck almost in the they become an employee within their business.
Yeah, I call it a glorified labor.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I always say glorified labor, because I mean, like I said, there's a lot of guys who own their business for 40 years and they're still busting their ass. They're still out there in the hot sun every day doing it. I mean, all they are is a glorified laborer. I mean, like you said, employee within their own business.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, what do you value more? But I feel like I already know the answer. But between time and money, what would you say is more valuable?
Oh, time definitely, for sure. Like, I mean, there's, like I said, the roads are paved in gold, and infinite amounts of money out there. There's just much time.
Mm.
You know, like you're always going to know where your next $10 comes from, but you're not always going to know if tomorrow's going to be here. And I'm starting to realize that more almost, you know, like I'm like, wow, I just can't do some things like I used to be able to, especially going out like and having a good time. Dude, if this was me 10 years ago here for 2 months, I'd be spending hundreds of dollars a night. I'd be freaking wasted home every day. And like now, like I just appreciate it. You know, I could wake up in the morning and like just feel the air and just appreciate the surrounding, going for walks.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. If I were down there, I'd probably be at least a few of those days. Get a little bit lit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're down here for like 7 weeks. I mean, if I was going 7 days a week for 7 weeks, I'd be in Miami. I'd rather go into I mean, we're here just to hang out. I've been going out at least twice or 3 times a week, but even that's crazy anymore, you know. So
Yeah. I'm curious, and I don't want to I don't want to dive too deep into it if you don't want to, but just in general, how is it down there with the whole virus that shall not be named? I'll call it that.
oh, that's fine. Everything's pretty much normal.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's pretty cool. I mean, the mask thing's kind of wearing off throughout the whole country. Florida's definitely not anything crazy.
Okay. DC is the opposite. DC is pretty intense on the mask thing.
Oh yeah, it's like the queen beehive right there.
I went to DC on I think it was Monday, and I went to go to Starbucks, and I didn't have a mask. Of course, somehow I didn't have a mask with me, and I went in, and I actually went in to ask for a mask, and they freaked out. They're like, "Wear a mask, wear a mask." I was like, "I'm here to ask if you have a mask because I don't want to make you guys uncomfortable." So
Yeah, yeah, the whole thing's just crazy. I mean, we can go on for hours on that. That's why I said let's stick to entrepreneur stuff.
yeah,
Dude, I was actually going to mention virus talk, but I don't even want to go there right now. It's such a dividing topic. It shouldn't be, but you know, some people want to think what they think. So
yeah, fair enough.
I'm just last 2 years have shown a lot of people the other side of the curtain. That's all I got.
Yeah, I do. Kind of going back to the whole kind of money and entrepreneurship talk. One thing I want to bring up that I think is funny. You always post good stuff on your Facebook. Sometimes I physically hit the like button. Sometimes I just kind of read it and I'm like scrolling, so I just keep scrolling. But I still see it. But one thing I noticed is that when a person like you or yourself posts something that's like positive about entrepreneurship, maybe a little bit challenging, you get like 2 likes, 3 likes, some hate in the comments maybe. But someone posts something like real generic or about like Kim Kardashian or Pete Davidson or something stupid, or like I got a new job and everyone's like, you see like
200 likes.
100 likes. I'm curious to know, like, why do you think people do that? Do you think they're running away? I don't know what that might be, because I wondered that myself.
Guys like me and you, like you said, you kind of sometimes you'll like my stuff and sometimes scroll by. I mean, you're an avid follower of mine. Mm-hmm. I feel, because you like a lot of my stuff, but I know you understand it.
Yeah.
I say 80% of people are probably just like, what the hell is this guy even saying? What's he talking about? Or if it has to do with anything like success stories or entrepreneur stuff, like I think a lot of people are just like, I don't even want to hear it. Like I'll read the first couple words and I'm like still scrolling because I'm not in a good spot in my life. I'm not going to change my life. I'm not going to do better. So I don't even want to hear it. And that's how I think a lot of people are. They're just not happy for others. Me, I don't post my stuff to boast. I just post my stuff to like be a positive influence and like show people like, hey, you can do whatever you want to do. Like I'm always posting, I'm doing different stuff. I'm doing things out of the ordinary that most everyday people don't even think about they can do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, there's so many opportunities out there. I just want to share them, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people do message me privately, like asking me like, oh, what do I do to get into this? Or how much was this? Or like my Amazon store. A lot of people ask me about that. And I don't know. I'm answering questions throughout the weeks, but nobody ever really jumps on it.
Yeah. Could you, I guess for anyone watching, could you tell us a little bit more about the Amazon store? Because I know of people that do Amazon stores, but I'm not that familiar with, I guess, the exact model of how it works. If it's like drop shipping or if it's something else I'm just not familiar with.
Yeah, mine specifically drop shipping. I mean, I'm all about, like I said, putting my hands on a lot of cookie jars, but not really having to, I guess, bake the cookie, I guess you want to say. But
That's a good way to go about it.
yeah, like I mean, there's an FBA way you could do with Amazon where like guys they actually go out and shop. Hello, how are you? Guys actually go out and shop for the products. Like they'll go out and scan the product and see how it sells on Amazon,
Okay.
and a whole bunch of them with cash right up front. Come home, package them, ship them, handle them themselves. To make money with Amazon, though, I think you need a high volume, and it's just like a lot of legwork, especially if you have a full-time job on the side too. Like, so for me, it just made sense to invest a whole bunch of money into hiring an automated team, professionals that already know what they're doing, and I just literally have people go onto my, go into Amazon.com like you would.
Mm.
So when you buy an Amazon product, you're not buying it from Amazon. Like, Amazon doesn't make Nike. Amazon doesn't make like Jordan basketballs.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They are a distributor. They're a vehicle. So when you go on and buy your Nike shoes on Amazon, you're buying it from a store front. You're buying it from somebody who like has that product in their storefront. So that's basically what I'm doing. And what's going on, man? And we list products, every couple of weeks that are selling at the time, that are good sales. And like I said, it's another thing I just get emails for. And when I'm ready to disperse money into my account, that's when I do it. Normally that's like once a month. But
Okay.
that's a buildup where like when I disperse money back to my account, it goes right to my Amazon card, like my debit card I use from my Amazon store. And we're just compounding it for a couple of years.
So you're putting it basically back into the business
Oh,
effectively.
I just live off my landscaping business right now, really, when it comes to money. All my other investments are growing investments. Like, hopefully, I could be making six figures through Amazon store by the end of next summer. That's my goal. If I could do that, I can kind of let the landscaping slide a little bit and focusing on actually getting into real estate myself, like actually buying houses, rental properties. I would like to have 2 Airbnbs by the end of this year.
Okay.
That's another goal of mine. Like,
You were thinking about Florida. I think last time we talked, you were mentioning you were looking in Florida for Airbnbs.
oh yeah, for sure. Especially that I'm down here now. It's all I've been looking at is for sale houses as I'm walking.
Yeah.
It's so nice down here though. It's cool. They're just like little ranchers everywhere.
Speaking of Airbnbs, I didn't look that deep into like the numbers, but a buddy of mine said that Tampa is a good spot for Airbnbs.
Yeah, Tampa incoming area. They're like actually the number one evolving city or something like in the country right now.
Yeah.
And built a lot of skyscrapers going up in there. So Tampa's definitely Tom Brady didn't come here for nothing. So I think
Yeah.
Tom's a good choice.
Yeah, I know like nothing about Tampa, so because me and some friends were looking at places in Miami to like kind of just even jump into like a thing together and like split it, and if whenever it's not being rented out, do like a go there, kind of like what you're doing, go there when it's cold here, and then the rest of the year rent it out, like it's an
Yeah,
Airbnb.
yeah,
But I
exactly.
know like nothing about the market down there. I don't know anything about I don't know anything about Florida at all.
It's
So
about Airbnb and that's successful. So like for like a no brainer, like I mean you could bring in like this is my thing. You can have a house for rent for $1,500 a month, bring in 400 a month win, or you can go buy this house in a good area for 10 grand a month. I mean, look at the difference in cash flow. Same house, you're making 800% more in cash flow, or probably 8,000% more.
yeah,
I don't even know the numbers like off the top of my head, but
yeah. The point is still all that matters. You're making a better return.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, like everything's covered by Airbnb, like the insurance. So you get like $1 million policy insurances. Um, you hire a cleaning service, and if you're in the same area with a bunch of them, like that same cleaning service will just take care of all of them. Like these people, they live in Maryland. They got a house down in Florida we're renting right behind me here, and they live in Maryland. Like when I was in Miami and had the Airbnb, that person lived in like California.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's crazy like how it works.
You're just renting it out and getting the extra cash,
Oh yeah, just right to their account.
which is smart. I was gonna ask, have you ever thought about doing Turo at all?
Yeah, I looked into that too, but I don't know. Like I feel like that's more of something like ways down the road. Like if I get bored,
Mm.
I'm like, let me just buy a nice car and do tour.
Yeah, some guy I was watching some video, and some guy had like a thing he would do for Turo where I don't really know much about like financing cars. I've only had one car like ever,
Mm-hmm.
but he was saying that what he did, he bought like 4 cars at one time, and what he did is I guess he bought them all at the exact same time and just he finances them.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess when you do it all at one time, they only check your credit once.
Okay.
So if you do it like in a very short time frame, it's one credit check for all.
So it doesn't like hurt your credit, or like will your credit change once you buy one?
Well, I think what he was kind of thinking, saying one, and then waited say like a few weeks to buy the second one, then to buy the third one, he wouldn't get approved for the second or third one because his credit would be messed up, or he might get like a terrible interest rate or whatever.
Yeah.
But since he did them all at once, he got like the best interest rate, so he got them at the lowest possible price. Which I didn't know. Huh?
So it's definitely not a bad gig.
Yeah, and I mean he'd already calculated like, oh, if I buy these 4 cars, these cars are in high demand in my area. I'll put them on Turo. I'll get like $500 a day, whatever whatever the numbers turn out to be. So he was really smart and like calculated about it. But I don't know.
Oh, Miami. Sorry. Keep going.
No. That was it. I was putting that out there for like you or for anyone else watching that might be thinking about Toro or something.
Yeah, no, I mean I've thought about it. Like I said, when I was down in Miami, I was looking, I was like, yo, I wonder how much it would be to rent a Lamborghini for like the week. I was just like looking at it. So I went on the Toro thing. It's the first time I heard about it from Nick, my buddy Nick.
It's like 4,000 up here, like 3,000
for the day.
For the day.
I was gonna say down in Miami it was $1,000 a day.
It's $1,000 a day in Miami?
Yeah, I mean, because dude, everybody's riding those Raptor things around, or like those hurricane things, like those 3-wheelers.
Yeah.
Or a Lamborghini up Collins Avenue. Like it's like the hottest. We stayed on like the hottest street of South Beach, Miami. Before you get to like the Ocean Boulevard where all the restaurants are.
Yeah.
On the busiest, hottest street. It was the one right before that one. And everybody, 7 a.m. till 11 o'clock at night, you saw Lambos and those hurricane things on the strip. It was blasting rap music or just freaking outside carrying on, yelling 7 a.m. Like every day, waking up to just.
It's a good time.
Oh my, it was crazy. But like I said, if I stayed in Miami, dude, for like a month and a half,
nothing gets done.
I'd have to bring like a lot of money with me. A lot of money. So I'm kind of just chilling.
Yeah.
But it's a good time.
Yeah. How much, I didn't want to keep you too long. How much time do you have?
I don't care. If you have a couple more questions, I mean, I'll start wrapping it up soon.
Okay. I did want to ask you, for the landscaping business, were you thinking of in the future, I guess, either selling it or getting like a manager, like a manager or something to take it over, and maybe you just kind of sit by and operate it, but you're not really in it, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy it. Like this year, I'm going to try to walk away a little bit from that the physical work. I would like to hire another guy or two, seeing what our schedule is going to be like. Because there's always that like uncertainty, like going into something like this, especially I don't cut grass. So I don't have like a list of clients. So like for me, it's all either new business or hey, I want you to remulch my property.
Mm.
You know, once you hardscape, it's already done. So you can't really go back and maintain that every year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it really depends on how like this year goes, and like if I can hire on a couple more guys, and because I want to sit more back in a management role, because it has been getting to me, especially like the hot days where I got to deal with the customer. I got to make sure all the materials get to the job, and this works out on a scheduled time.
Yeah.
Plus, physically like doing the work,
Oh my
and I
God.
can't
Person
I
keeps.
can't do it all the time. You know, like when a couple years ago, before this, it beat me up already. It made me like 45 years old already. This job.
Wait. Say
My
wait.
body.
What happens?
I said this job made me like 45 years old already, physically, like 50 years old. But no, just if I could like take a break on the physical stuff and like actually have a couple guys that are doing it and they do it right, like it would be so much smoother. Like everything would go smoother. I think we would get more business and do a lot more.
Yeah.
So definitely ready to evolve a little bit this year.
It's fair. It's fair.
But
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
like that's a good move in the long run. I don't know. Like I would me personally, I feel like I would take a little bit less money on the front end for more time and more
oh yeah.
physical endurance on the back end. I'll call it that.
Oh, I don't have this business to run myself dry, you know, like I mean
Yeah.
myself like ragged. But I started this because my dad even like asked me, he goes, "What are you home so early for?" I'll be like 3:30, 4 o'clock sometimes. I'm like, why are you home so early? So you've been working the same time the last 25, 30 years. Why are you home so early? And I'm like, I have my own business. I can come home wherever the hell I want. Like today was just quicker, you know, like I always get those questions from him though. He's like, "Oh, you should be out there working till dark." It's like, well, that's not why I started this. You know, it's
Yeah.
about plowing during the winter. That's what all the other landscapers do. I'm like, good for them. They must need the money then during the winter. You know, like I said before, like I'm trying to buy myself out of the business. I'm not really trying to add into it. You know, like this is a 5-year plan for me.
Yeah.
Now this ain't till 60 and I'm ready to retire.
Yeah. Speaking of retiring, word around town, word around Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and the Meta says that you're you're trying to retire in the next couple years.
Yeah, I wanted to do it by 30. That's why I'm hoping by the end of this summer I can get the Amazon store up to figures a year. But yeah, I mean at least by 35 I would really like it, but I think it's gonna happen before that.
Mm.
My before like 5, 6 years ago, like it was always my like when I'm 21, I'm like, oh, I want to be 35. Like I didn't have a plan, I just had it in my mind, and which ain't a bad thing because I think if we look at those mindsets like a lot of kids have growing up, they won't even be thinking that, or like who knows, like the kid at 15 years old thinking, hey, I want to be retired at 30,
Mm.
figures out his way a lot sooner than the person that just thinks they need a job and die. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of people always question me, especially my friends growing up, like, oh, dude, those are high hopes. Oh, you got dreams, kid, stuff like that.
The high hopes.
And now I'm thinking, like, I could actually probably be financially, not retired, because I feel like retired is like a strong word, but financially independent.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to retire, I can.
yeah. You, I was gonna say, it's funny though. It's funny when people say you have like high hopes, or they kind of like knock the dream a little bit.
Yeah.
To me, it's like okay, well, if I don't do this, what's the alternative? Just not try, or like at least if I try, I'm gonna get somewhere. Most likely.
Yeah, you're going to try, and I mean, you're going to fall a couple times, but you just keep going. Like, dude, there's so many times I just wanted to like be like, all right, screw this, pack it in, jump in the truck, we're out, I'm
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
I'm like, there's like little goals I give myself every year, like this, being in Florida for 2 months. This is my first time being able to do this. And back in July, when I bought this house, I had something to work for. I'm like, all right, the grueling days of August in the sun, it's, but then in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, but just wait until we're on the beach chilling
yeah,
every day during the winter when it's cold here. And I keep that in my mind. and I just keep going. Like, oh, I can't leave this job because this job's paying for this, or this job's, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. And that's just literally what I drive myself on, like 5 months.
Oop, the sound cut out a little bit.
Adrenaline. Like I drive it into my head. Like I said, when I want to quit, when I want to give up, I'm just like, no, because you have a plan. You have to go by the plan, stay on track. And I said the Egyptians did, like, oh, the Egyptians did this. I can do it, like, we're out on with our shirts off and just like burning up all day. And I'm just like, I don't care. There's people who have survived worse than I have out in this stuff. So,
yeah.
At least I can stop and take a drink and eat.
Yeah. In hindsight, or I guess if you think about the whole grand scheme of the universe and time, it's really not that bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm only here for so long. So, and I mean, I'm only young for, like I said, I mean, it's beat up my body the last couple of years. I played baseball my whole life, dude, from 5 years old till I played at Penn State for a couple of years. So 21 years old, and I still play men's softball. I mean, I've been out in the field my whole life. And I think my body, the last couple of years of doing the landscape business, just kind of just starting to break down a little bit. Because I don't have as much time to work out. I don't really.
Lost one.
Sorry, I lost out again.
It's all
But
good.
yeah, stretch like I should, like I used to. I used to be like an avid stretcher and a big like physical, like really in tune with my body. So some things that took a toll on me. But I feel like if I kind of, like I said, take that management role and don't do the physical as much, I'll be able to take care of myself better.
Yeah.
Physically. So, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah. I feel like if you take the management position, it might accelerate things more.
Yeah, I think too. That's what, like I said, you gotta pay a couple $100 extra out a day for another guy too. But I think our name's pretty much out there where people know we do good work, so I can put out a decent day rate to cover everything.
Yeah.
And I'm actually pretty cheap compared to a lot of people, believe it or not. So I think I'll get the jobs either way. Because when I tell escaping buddies like what I charge for some jobs, they're like, "Oh my god, dude, you could have got double. Oh, you could have got triple. This guy would have charged this much for this. You're crazy." And I'm like, "Hey, it kept me busy, and I still made good money."
Yeah, you're making the money and you got the job, so
yeah, it's about just going.
One is better than zero.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else you want to share before we head off?
No, I'll be all right. Like I said, the only thing I could really say, and the hardest thing to, like, when it comes to business and being an entrepreneur and like going through that everyday grind, is you got to have a set of balls. You got to be willing to. You just got to tell yourself, hey, I'm going to make the same thing every single week for the rest of my life. I'm never going to climb the corporate ladder. I might as well, put $1,000 on this and see what it does. It's worth the risk. And next time you're going to get so bored, you're going to be like, all right, maybe I'm going to put $2,000 on this opportunity. Oh, now I'm at $5,000. Maybe I'm at $10,000. And it just keeps growing from there. So you just going to have that set of balls once, and you're just going to it's going to be like a snowball.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, I do want to ask you too. I guess for anyone that's not watching or that's going to watch on Instagram, where can people find you and reach out to you if they want to ask you any questions about landscaping, money mindset, Forex, Amazon?
Oh, I'm on Instagram as ckish11. You can look me up by my name, Caden Kish, CADEN KISH. I'm also on Facebook as Caden Kish as well. So yeah, between Facebook and Instagram, I always got my phone on me. So.
All right, sounds good, man. I appreciate you doing this live with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Been a minute.
What's that?
I said it's been a minute.
It has. I'm waiting for you to come to Virginia, or maybe we got to meet
Yeah,
up in Florida.
I think on the way home we might stop up there. So you're gonna have to get me till like the first week of March,
Cool.
because I'd like to jump on that meeting Virginia with you. Then we'll talk a little bit more.
Yeah, we got to have you in the studio, man.
Sweet, that'd be cool.
All right. Well, I'll see you, man. I'll let you get to it.
All right, Lenny, have a good one. See you guys.